Today we are going to discuss about application of a PN junction diode. Application of a PN junction diode as a rectifier. What is a rectification? The process of converting AC to DC is called a rectification. Okay, the process of converting AC voltage to DC voltage is called a rectification. Here we know this represents the DC voltage, that means voltage remains constant throughout. Okay, that is called a DC voltage. Here if time increases, voltage goes on varying, pulsating, positive, negative like that. If the magnitude voltage changes, such voltage is called a AC voltage. Okay, so this represents voltage remains constant, here represents the varying voltage. So process of converting AC voltage to DC voltage is called a rectification. So rectification means it is the process of converting AC to DC. So rectification, the process of converting AC to DC is called a rectification, and the device used for this purpose is called a rectifier. Now we can study how PN junction diode act as a rectifier. We know the principle of rectifier is, we know a PN junction diode is forward bias, it offers less resistance and conducts current through it. Okay, now we know what is forward biasing and what is reverse biasing. Forward biasing means the P region, the P-type semiconductor, P region of the diode is connected to positive terminal of the battery, and N region, this is P region, this one represents the N region. If P is connected to positive and N is connected to negative, that is called forward biased. What happens during forward bias? Here the junction resistance is less and the PN junction diode conducts current easily. Okay, so that is called forward biasing. So during forward biasing, P is connected to positive and N is connected to negative and it conducts current. What happens during reverse biasing? P is connected to negative and N is connected to positive. P is connected to negative and N is connected to positive. That means here resistance is greater and almost it does not conducts current. Okay, it conducts very slightly amount of current, microampere current, or normally we can say that it does not conducts current. Okay, so this is called forward biasing and reverse biasing. So the principle of rectifier is, when a PN junction diode is forward bias, it offers less resistance and conducts current through it. When the diode is reverse bias, it offers high resistance and almost no current flows through it. This unidirectional property of the diode enables it to be used as a rectifier. Okay, so this unidirectional property, that means during forward bias it conducts current and during reverse biasing it does not conduct current. This unidirectional property of the diode is used for the conversion of AC voltage to DC voltage, or it enables it to be used as a rectifier. Clear? Now there are two types of rectifiers. What are the two types of rectifier? Half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. So these are the two types of rectifiers, half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier, and now we can study one by one. First we can study half wave rectifier. Here this represents a step down transformer which reduces the AC voltage. Step down transformer means it increases high voltage to low voltage. Here primary having greater number of turns, secondary having less number of turns, that means it is a step down transformer. These two lines represents the soft iron core. We know in a transformer, primary coil and secondary coil wound over a soft iron core, isn't it? So this is the symbol of a step down transformer, and the primary of the step down transformer is connected to input AC source, and the secondary connected to diode as well as RL. RL represents the load resistance. Here load resistance means output is taken across this resistance, and hence it is called a load resistance. Okay. So a half wave rectifier consists of a step down transformer, a diode and a load resistance RL. The primary coil of the transformer is connected to AC mains and the secondary coil is connected to junction diode and resistance RL. Now we can see the working of this half wave rectifier. When AC is supplied to the primary, the secondary of the transformer supplies desired AC voltage across A and B. So here step down transformer reduces high AC voltage to a low voltage so that it can be given to the diode. Okay, so step down transformer reduces high AC voltage to low voltage, and that low AC voltage is given to the diode. Okay, Now, see here, during the positive half cycle of AC, A is positive and end B is negative. So, during the positive half cycle of AC, we know this is the in AC voltage. This is the AC voltage given to the diode. During the positive half cycle of AC, that means during this positive half, diode D is which biased? Forward biased, isn't it? So, positive is connected to P region of the diode. So, diode is forward biased and hence it conducts. So, diode forward bias means we know it conducts. So, that current passes through the load resistance and will get the output. Clear? And if after the positive half it comes negative half. During the negative half, what happens? The point A becomes negative. That means diode D is reverse biased, isn't it? So, diode D is reverse biased means it does not conduct and hence there is no output obtained across the load resistance. Clear? So, once more, during the positive half, the point A is positive, diode D is forward bias, it conducts and will get the output. During the negative half, that means here during this negative half, A is negative, the point A is negative, diode D is reverse bias, it does not conduct and hence there is no output through the load resistance. Hence, when AC voltage is given to the primary, the secondary of the transformer supplies desired AC voltage across A and B. During the positive half cycle of AC, A is positive, B is negative. Here this represents A, here this is point A, here it is point B. So, during the positive half, A is positive and B is negative. A positive means diode is forward bias, that is given here. So, during the positive half cycle of AC, A is positive and end B is negative, diode D is forward bias and conducts current and hence output is obtained across RL. Now, during the negative half cycle of AC, what happens? End A becomes negative and end B becomes positive during the negative half cycle of AC. As explained earlier, during this negative half, what happens? End A is negative, end B becomes positive. Since end A is negative, diode D does not conduct because it is reverse bias, no? And hence there is no output across the load resistance. So, during the negative half cycle of AC, end A becomes negative and end B becomes positive. Diode D is reverse bias and no current flows through the diode, therefore no voltage appears across the load resistance. In the next positive half, again we will get the output and the process continues. So, during the positive half, here like this, during the positive half, diode is forward bias and will get the output across the load resistance. During the negative half, diode is reverse bias and hence there is no output across the load resistance. So, across the load resistance we will get the output only during the positive half like this. During the positive half we will get the output and during the negative half there is no output across the load resistance. So, since the voltage appears across the load resistance only during the positive half cycle of input AC, the process is called the half wave rectification. Okay, so since the voltage appears across the load resistance only during the positive half cycle of input AC, the process is half wave rectification and the device is called the half wave rectifier. Here this is the input AC as discussed before, this is the input AC and during the positive half we get the output and during the negative half there is no output. So, output can be drawn like this. During the positive half there is output like this and during the negative half there is no output. Again during this positive half we will get the output and during the negative half there is no output. Okay, so this is the output across the load resistance. That means only during the positive half we will get the output, during the negative half there is no output. Okay children, so that is the working of half wave rectifier. Next we can see full wave rectifier. Here also the circuit consists of a step down transformer. Okay, so this is called center tapped step down transformer. So here center tapped step down transformer means here in the secondary of the transformer actually 3 terminals are there. If the middle terminal is also used, that is called a center tapped step down transformer. So here this is a step down transformer. It consists of two coils, primary coil and secondary coil. Secondary coil consists of three terminals and the middle terminal is called center tap. That is also used for circuit, or that is also used for the connection. Then such transformer is called a center tapped step down transformer. This is step down. Why step down transformer is used? Because it output voltage, the secondary voltage has to be reduced, okay, so that it can be directly given to the diodes. And the primary of the step down transformer is connected to the input AC, and the secondary connected to the two diodes D1 and D2, and there is a load resistance across which output is taken. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram. So here this is center tapped step down transformer, primary connected to the input AC, secondary of the transformer connected to two diodes D1 and D2, and the two diodes are connected together, and the middle portion is connected to the load resistance, and the other end of the load resistance is connected to the center tap. This is called a center tapped. Okay, this region is called a center tapped. A full wave rectifier consists of center tapped step down transformer, two diodes D1 and D2, resistance RL, this is the load resistance RL. The center tap transformer divides the output secondary voltage into two voltages which are out of phase by 180 degree. That is the importance of center tapped transformer. Here comes, since center tap is used, here the output voltage, secondary voltage is divided into two voltage. One voltage is across these two and another voltage is across the center tap and the bottom region. Okay, voltage across this. So here the center tap transformer divides the output voltage into two voltages which are always out of phase by 180 degree. So here this secondary voltage is divided into first like this voltage, and here this is the second voltage. Both are out of phase by 180 degree. The phase difference between these two voltages, that is 180 degree. Here it starts from 0, maximum 0 and so on. Here it starts from 0, negative maximum and so on. So these are the two voltages or the two dividing voltages from the secondary of the transformer. So this voltage is given to the diode D1 and this voltage is given to diode D2. Clear, children? So the importance of center tapped step down transformer is, it divides the secondary voltage into two voltages which are out of phase by 180 degree. So here this is the first voltage which is given to the input of diode D1, and this is the second voltage which is out of phase by 180 degree, and this voltage is given to diode D2. This is the importance of center tap transformer. Now we can see the working of full wave rectifier. During the positive half cycle of input AC, this is the input given to diode D1, this is the input given to diode D2. So diode gets a positive half, that means A is positive and at the same time B is negative. Okay, so A is positive means diode D1 gets positive half and it is forward bias and it conducts. At the same time diode D2 gets this negative half, isn't it? So it is reverse bias and hence it does not conduct. So here the output is obtained only due to which one? D1. During the negative half cycle, diode D1 gets a negative half and diode D2 gets a positive half. Hence diode D1 is reverse bias, diode D2 is forward bias, and again we will get the output due to D2 and the process continues. Okay, so during the positive half cycle of input AC, D1 gets this positive half, hence it is forward bias. At the same time diode D2 gets this negative half, hence it is reverse bias, and hence we will get the output only due to which one? D1. Then during the negative half cycle, diode D1 gets this negative half, diode D2 gets a positive half, and the output is only due to D2. So how will you draw the output? So here there is an output, this is the output due to which one? This is due to D1. This is due to D1. Again during the negative half, D1 is reverse bias but D2 is forward bias. No, again we will get the output. This is due to which one? This is due to D2. Okay, due to D2. Again during the next half cycle, here D1 is forward bias, D1 gets a positive half, therefore output is due to which one? Due to D1. Again next one, Here we will get the output due to dt. Okay, so either of the two diode conducts at a time. Hence, we will get the complete output, full wave output is obtained, and hence it is called a full wave rectifier. So, suppose during the positive half cycle of input AC, A is positive, B is negative, then diode D1 gets forward bias and conducts through the load resistance. At the same time, diode D2 is reverse bias and does not conduct, and during the negative half cycle, A becomes negative and end B becomes positive, and hence diode D1 gets reversed and diode D2 gets forward. Since output voltage across load resistance is obtained for both half cycle, so we will get the output for both half cycle during the positive half and during the negative half. Either of the two diodes conduct, and hence we will get the full output, and hence it is called a full wave rectifier. Okay children? In a full wave rectifier, the rectified output, this is the rectified output, is in the form of pulses. Okay, it is in the form of pulses, and it consists of AC components as well as DC components. It is not perfectly DC. Okay, so this is the output of a full wave rectifier. It is not perfect DC, but it is full wave because the negative half, there is no negative half. Negative half is completely rectified. Clear? So it has only positive half, but this positive half also it is pulsating. Pulsating means it has AC components. Okay, in addition to DC components, there are some AC components due to which the output is pulsating. Actually, this is the perfect DC. DC means the voltage remains constant throughout. Okay, magnitude remains constant throughout. That is called a DC. But here the output is not a perfect DC. It is called a pulsating DC. So, in order to remove the AC components here in the output, okay, in order to remove AC components, we have to do one more connection in the full wave rectifier. Okay, so that circuit is called filter circuit. The rectified voltage is in the form of pulses. Though it is unidirectional, it does not have a steady value. Okay, it is unidirectional because there is no negative component. It is unidirectional, but it does not have a steady value. Steady value means voltage remains constant. This output has some AC components or AC ripples. These AC components are called AC ripples. These AC ripples can be filtered out by using filter circuit. Now we can see what is this filter circuit. To get steady DC output from the pulsating voltage, normally a capacitor is connected across the output terminal that is parallel to the load resistance RL. Such a circuit is called a filter circuit. So, in order to remove the AC components or AC ripples, we can connect a capacitor parallel to the load resistance like this. So, here we can connect a capacitor. So, if we connect a capacitor parallel to the load resistance, it becomes a filter circuit. Okay, so this is a filtered full wave rectifier. Or we can draw the circuit like this also. Here this represents a rectifier. So, this box represents a rectifier inside which it consists of a step down transformer, 2 diodes. Okay, so this can be arranged inside the box. So, this box represents a rectifier with step down transformer and the 2 diodes. And the output is connected to the capacitor like this. Here the output is connected to the capacitor C, and parallel to it a load resistance is connected. So, this is the filter circuit. Okay, filter circuit of a full wave rectifier. In order to get what is the purpose of this one? In order to get a perfect DC output. Okay, so here if a capacitor is connected parallel to the load resistance, here the output is perfect DC. Here how capacitor filters that AC component. We have capacitance have reactance. Capacity reactance. Capacitor offers some resistance or reactance called capacity reactance XC. XC equal to 1 by C omega. Already you have studied in the AC chapter. Capacity reactance is given by XC equal to 1 by C omega. Okay. For DC, what is the value of frequency omega? It is 0. So, what is XC? XC is equal to 1 by 0, which is equal to infinity. That means capacitor, it blocks DC. Resistance is infinite. For DC, resistance is infinite. Okay, so that means capacitor blocks DC and it allows only which one to pass through? AC to pass through. That you know, capacitor blocks DC and allows AC. Okay, so here comes output of the rectifier. We know it has AC component as well as DC component. So here it consists of AC and DC component. The output of the rectifier it consists of AC component as well as DC components like this. If there is no filter circuit used, no capacitor is connected here, means it consists of both AC and DC. This is called pulsating voltage. Okay. Now, so here this is the output AC plus DC. What happens to capacitor? Capacitor allows which one to pass through? AC to pass through. Okay, so capacitor allows EC passage to AC. So here the capacitor bypass AC component. Okay, here what happens? AC component pass through the capacitor. So here it bypass AC. Okay, so if AC and DC are the voltage output of the rectifier, what if a capacitor is connected here? Capacitor bypass AC. We know that capacitor allows EC passage to AC current and it blocks DC. So here AC components or AC ripples passes through it. What happens to the output? Output contain only which one? Only DC. That DC passes through the load resistance and will get the perfect DC output. That is a function. Okay, so that's a function of the capacitor here. So if a capacitor is connected, capacitor allows AC components to pass through. So here the output of the rectifier is both AC and DC. And here AC components bypass through the capacitor, only DC components reaches here and that DC voltage passes through the load resistance. As a result, an output is perfect DC. For DC, omega equal to 0, frequency is equal to 0 and X is equal to infinity. That is, capacitor offers low impedance path to AC. That means EC passage to AC components. Hence, AC component is bypassed through the capacitor or filtered out. Hence, a smooth DC voltage appears at the load resistance. So, capacitor bypass AC and the output DC passes through the load resistance. As a result, output is a perfect DC. Okay. Okay, so if a capacitor is not connected, this is the output, this is the pulsating output, pulsating voltage because it contains both AC and DC. If capacitor is connected here, that voltage converts to a perfect DC. So this is the filtered output of the full wave rectifier. Here this DC output is, voltage can be represented like this. So this is the perfect DC output. Okay children.